Beta-TCP is our #4 best-selling product. Years ago, Dr. Lesniewski said, when you can't resolve candida, fix the biliary tree. Why? Well, bile has a host of positive influences on the GI tract. For example, bile flushes the bowel, relieving constipation. When you have a poor diet, too many carbohydrates or too many bad fats, we create a thick, sluggish-like bile, and beet juice thins bile. I heard one lecturer say, just as paint thinner thins paint, beet juice thins bile. Now, remember, bile binds toxins in the liver, and so we want to make sure we have the proper viscosity, which will allow the bile and the toxins to exit the body. If we don't have the proper viscosity, toxins get liberated, and then they just cause free radical damage inside the liver. So we want to make sure whenever we do some kind of a detox program that we start with Beta-TCP or have Beta-TCP on board. Bile creates the proper pH for the small intestine and prevents small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, prevents yeast overgrowth. Also, beets increase natural nitric oxide production. In our distributorships where muscle testing is dominant, Beta-TCP has always been in the top 5. So this is a very consistent product. We use with pain over the eyes, pain when pressure is applied to the webbing between the right thumb and forefinger, pain between the shoulder blades, gas, bloating, inability to tolerate fats or fried foods. Those are just some of the things that we might see. But anytime you have somebody that as soon as when they eat fried foods, about 2 hours later, they feel nauseous or bloated, that's a classic sign that they need to thin out the bile. Because again, we need bile to emulsify the fats that we consume. The bile provides the environment to digest fats. And many people have problems with sugar cravings because they're not digesting fats for energy. And if they can't digest fats for energy, they're going to crave carbs. So you're somebody that's craving carbs, a clinical trial of Beta-TCP can really make a big difference. We use certified, and that's important, certified organic beets. There's a lot of companies out there that have beet products, but unless it's certified organic, you could be getting some additional toxins as well. Also, taurine helps thin bile. Pancreatic enzymes, in the terms of pancreolipase, 50 milligrams, vitamin C, 60 milligrams, and SOD and catalase at 20 milligrams each. Again, there's a great Tuesday Minute video titled How to Check the Liver. So it'll help you assess liver and then how to test to see which things will be most effective for that particular patient. And I want to just take a second and show you what some of these Tuesday Minute videos look like, because it's really pretty exciting to see some of this technology and how we've taken advantage of it. So I'm going to go to that particular Tuesday Minute. And here's how I check the liver. Here's you can watch the video, by the way, and they're 5 to 6 minutes. And our graphic arts design person, our producer, has done an amazing job putting graphics and kind of making things very simple. So you'll enjoy the videos. But if you're too busy for the video and you want to just check out the transcript, here's an example of the transcript. Have a tough case, think liver, and then it goes through all the some of the liver indications, and you can use these to make copies and give them to your patients. You can highlight them and say, this is a problem. You can use them if you're doing a newspaper article. Feel free always to take advantage of them, or doing a lecture, cut and paste some things. Then here's the liver gallbladder assessment, and this was taken from the NutriQ, and it gives 27 different symptoms, or 28 different symptoms, to help you assess if a person's got a liver issue. The more, obviously, the higher the number, the more significant it is. If you're looking at blood, GGT is one, ALT, AST, and it gives you the optimal ranges. And so in this case for GGT, if it's over 30, treat with liver support. If the ALT should be 10 to 30, if it's over 30, treat with liver support. If it's under 10, consider a need for B6. The Balancing Body Chemistry group taught us that years ago. And then AST as well. If it's under 10, consider need for B6. If it's over 30, take a look for, consider liver issues as well. Talks a little bit about urine testing for liver. And then these are physical exam tests. Blanching between the shoulder blades. If you press on the area between the shoulder blades, if you can see a white fingerprint for a few seconds, it's a good sign that liver congestion is present. Tenderness under the right rib cage is a Murphy sign. Tenderness in the web of the right hand is a possible indicator of a gallbladder problem. The Chapman reflex is for the liver is in the sixth intercostal space on the right side. Tenderness is an indication of liver problems. Could also be a gallbladder problem too. Yellowness in the sclera of the eye is a slightly more serious sign. If you look at the Murphy sign, if you wanted more information on that, you can look at the transcript for this, and it discusses exactly how to do the functional tests and then how to treat based on that functional test, and then the Chapman reflex video. So these are, there's about 700 Tuesday minutes that are done, and we refer to them on a frequent basis as we go through these products, but feel free to take a look at them and use them whenever you can. And I know you'll enjoy them. With cases of dysbiosis, we always want to make sure bile is flowing properly, because again, it's a natural antimicrobial. If the gallbladder has been removed or stools are light or clay colored, we want to use Beta Plus. If it's been removed, we want to stay on Beta Plus, because studies have shown when the gallbladder has been removed, cases of colon cancer increase as fats acidify. I mean, think about it for a second. If you're not digesting the fat and you get in that wet, warm environment, what's going to happen? They're going to start rancidifying, and some of the byproducts can cause problems, and the number of colon cancer has been increased by people that don't have a gallbladder. If the stools are light or clay colored or severe constipation, we'd use a couple bottles of Beta-TCP and then switch back to Beta Plus and switch back to Beta-TCP. It contains 100 milligrams of ox bile extract, 50 milligrams of pancreolipase, pancreatic enzymes, 100 milligrams of organic beets, 20 micrograms of SOD, and 20 micrograms of catalase. And how we dose Beta Plus is 1 3 times a day on day 1, 2 3 times a day on day 2, 3 TID day 3, and then we go back to 1 TID on day 4. And the reason being is we don't want patients' bodies, or our bodies for that matter, if we take it, to become dependent on exogenous bile. We want the body to make its own bile so that it can bind up some of those toxins. Let's talk about this SOD. What is SOD, and that you're going to see that in a lot of products. I want to do a little sidetrack here just for a second. What's the big deal about SOD and catalase? SOD and catalase are naturally occurring in the Biotics tableting base. We had a very internationally famous movie star was bitten by a brown recluse spider. Tissue necrosis set in. Despite the most expensive medical care, 30 days later, the hole was getting bigger. The clinician mixed Dismuzyme Plus granules, which is SOD and catalase, and liquid iodine, and made a paste out of it and applied with a sterile gauze twice a day, and it cleaned it up in a week. And eventually, when it completely healed, it was not even a scar. Very dramatic. So Dismuzyme Plus, or SOD, which is superoxide dismutase, researchers estimate SOD is the third most prevalent enzyme in our body. SOD quenches or transforms a highly reactive superoxide radical into hydrogen peroxide and water. And then catalase, another primary antioxidant enzyme, changes the hydrogen peroxide into oxygen and water. So the clinical applications for SOD would be free radical pathology, low white blood cells, rampant viral or bacterial infections, all forms of arthritis and inflammation, and protection against radiation. It reduces aging in skin, muscles, bones, joints, and brain. So a little background just for a second. SOD is classified as a primary antioxidant and works synergistically with well-known secondary antioxidants such as vitamin C, vitamin A, and vitamin E. But of all the antioxidants, SOD is the most powerful. So let me just diverge just for a second. Vitamin C donates an electron, that's why it's an antioxidant, and then it has to be recharged. and then it can, once it's recharged, it can donate another electron. But it can only donate one, and then has to be recharged. So one and done, so to speak. Whereas SOD, it's a primary antioxidant, and it can neutralize thousands of free radicals. A single molecule, SOD molecule, can neutralize thousands of free radicals, whereas secondary antioxidants, as I mentioned, can only neutralize one. One international unit of SOD has a life of several days and catalyzes the elimination of billions of free radicals. But for simplicity, let's just say it's 1 billion. So each microgram of plant SOD yields 6.6 units. Many Biotics products, as we just mentioned a minute ago with Beta Plus and Beta-TCP, have 20 micrograms of SOD and catalase per tablet. So 20 micrograms times 6.6 units is 132 units. 132 units quenches well over 132 billion oxidative reactions. And this comes for free as part of the vegetable tableting culture. Many companies will use compressible sugar or compressible starch, inert ingredients for their tableting base. Biotics uses a living food for their tableting base in many of their products. So it's just one more advantage. This antioxidant, not only for our body, but makes the tablets last longer, comes for free. Another product, which we talked about, mixing the granules and the iodine to make a paste, is Dismuzyme Plus granules. Just a quick review: one international unit of SOD has a life of several days and catalyzes the elimination of billions of free radicals. A tablespoon of Dismuzyme granules yields 1,200 micrograms and 1,200 micrograms of catalase. And Biotics uses SOD enzymes, identifies their SOD enzymes by using something called McCord-Friedewitz units. Each microgram of plant SOD yields 6.6 units. So 1,200 micrograms would yield 7,920 units of SOD. Using the calculation above, a tablespoon would quench well over 8 trillion free radicals. Now, for years, doctors have been telling me that SOD granules and another product called IAG raises chronic low white blood counts. And I never really understood why. But you can see now that this has a powerful effect on the metabolism. I'll be referring to deeper discussions on our weekly magazine called the Tuesday Minute. And here's how you can access some of these specific topics. You can see the link to the right for the Tuesday Minute video titled An Extremely Powerful Antioxidant.